On my far right, Honorable Gitobe Manyara.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
The legislator for Rangwe, Martin Ogendo. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And of course, PNU's Chief Whip and the legislator for Juja as well, George Thor.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, in the next 30 minutes, we have to cover the two key issues on Parliament's agenda, draft being one of them, but the most important one, the draft constitution. In reference to our big question tonight, let me start with you, Honorable Manyara. Do you think MPs will rise above partisan interests and deliver one?
I have no doubt about that, and we showed this today. Despite the differences, very serious differences regarding the composition of the membership, when it was made clear to us that the disagreements may cause a delay in the process of creating and giving Kenyans a new constitution, we all got our acts together and we were able to pass that motion, setting up the new House Business Committee without any problems. I think this is what you're going to see as far as the constitution making is concerned. The members of parliament are feeling the pressure from the public. On this, the public actually is leading us, and we're following the lead from the public. And you heard it even at the opening yesterday. Even the religious leaders themselves, they were all speaking from the same script. God, give us a new constitution. Every Kenyan you speak to, all the calls I get, either on Facebook, on SMS, please put aside everything. We have worked for too long for this constitution. This is a moment we must seize and give Kenyans this gift of a new constitution.
It's an interesting argument. Honorable Ogendo, your party seemed to have quite a bit of a problem as far as composing the House Business Committee is concerned. You finally rose above that, but the quick question perhaps is, can you maintain that focus on the issues as opposed to party problems?
You know, we have really suffered from the outgoing constitution, if I may say. And out of that suffering, it has become imperative that we get a new constitution. And I think Honorable Marende captured it well when he said that a constitution should be an instrument that safeguards the citizens from the government. And our present constitution has not safeguarded us adequately. And as such, Kenyans are desperate for a new constitution that is going to safeguard them from the excesses of the government. And the time is now.
Honorable Thor?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think Kenyans will rise to the occasion. I am convinced that Parliament will rise to this occasion. I think, as Honorable Manyara said, we are feeling the pressure from the general public. But again, you know, we are also not blind to the unique opportunity that has been bestowed upon us. During the opening address, His Excellency the President did mention that in about 5 decades in Parliament, he was clear that this was the Parliament that was uniquely placed and has been given a serious opportunity to midwife the Constitution that we've been looking for over 2 decades. Sadly, and I don't blame the public for thinking, and probably yourselves for asking the question, it seems like Parliament does not go along with your expectations. I want to assure you that Parliament is full of patriots and that it will happen.
Parliament is full of patriots.
It will happen.
Who are more than willing to raise their salaries ad hoc, quote unquote.
You know, you keep saying that, and I'm amused because I've been a member of Parliament for 2 years and I've not raised a penny of my salary. I earn what was passed by previous parliaments. I think you should judge me on the basis of what I do when my time comes.
All right.
And I think right now I'm going to be judged on the basis of the
your performance.
Correct. This, you know, we like painting Parliament with one brush across for the last 40 years. It's been like this. If you do not have hope that things can be different, why do you bother?
Well, hope is one thing, but how about delivery?
Correct, but we live on the basis that tomorrow could be different if we give a different person a chance. And unfortunately, for many of us who are first-comers, we have found that the public has a certain perception which has not been tested at all in terms of, you know, in many ways. But that is carried on, and particularly by yourselves as media houses, where you know, old holds, you know, true all the time. And I'm hoping that we'll use this occasion to demonstrate otherwise. I agree with the trouble in what you say. It wasn't about, we were not blind to the realities of if this House Business Committee list did not pass, the implications. And therefore, much as we would have had an opportunity to fight and disagree, and, you know, yesterday, a point was proved. But today a second one was proved. That due to this need for a new constitution, again, politics aside, Every member of this parliament is capable of being a member of the House Business Committee. Let's run away with the list that we have.
All right, let me put a challenge to you. Do you read The Economist by any chance?
Yes, I do.
You do? You read last week's edition, one on February 18th?
The one that had the gridlock in Washington.
No. The one that said, and I quote, "Few leading politicians seem to be genuinely determined to end the culture of impunity, least of all Kenya's frail and diffident president, Mr. Kibaki, who's now 78. Hang on. Also, same article, 65-year-old Mr. Odinga has failed to advance reform on either the economic or the political front. He also seemed to wobble on questions of the ICC, a charge he denies." Same article. Few of the country's politicians seem able to put patriotism before party, tribe, or personal interest.
You know, that article is in the magazine I mentioned. If you look at the headline, it's the gridlock in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, and I don't want to defend either Kibaki, Raila, or any other politician, but I want to say this. I read that article. It starts, in fact, with a tale on some Matatu guys and, you know.
The guy who's shopping a panga.
Correct,
Quote.
correct. I think it was alarmist, number one, the first paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
He has no facts to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, I've just said here, and I'm going to repeat, it is what the media wants to spew for out there. He's a writer. He's a foreign writer. What gives you the impression that by quoting him, he is right?
Are you entirely certain about that?
He is right.
The Economist has a tradition of using journalists from the local area.
It doesn't matter. He's a journalist, he is the media, as I said, and you've taken one side of it. To write and start with an article on The Economist that there are people sharpening pangas because they're preparing, I would have thought the first step, if you're local, is first to share that information with the police. Correct?
True.
Post that, to give enough evidence so that we stop it. Politicians don't have knowledge beyond yourself or the next guy if a felony or crime is about to be committed. But to go beyond that, I saw that article castigating the president, castigating the prime minister, castigating the whole of the political leadership. Let us even take it at face value and accept that that is the case. So what are our alternatives? What options did they give us? You read it, I read it. What are the options?
Here's a typical shareholder argument. What changes?
It's interesting that when the same economist many years ago listed the same president as one of the leading lights in Kenya, and one of the first, I think, 100 countries of Africa.
That was Time magazine, actually.
Time magazine.
Yeah, that was Time.
It's an international magazine, such as the Economist and Time. We are full of praise. But as usual, politicians in the media points out or expresses an opinion, they're very quick to criticize them. I think the focus by the international community in Kenya is genuine. They see us as a hope for the region, and a collapse Kenya affects the entire region. So I am more positive when I read criticism like that. I see what can we do to ensure that next time they write about us, they write more positively.
All right.
Because I think,
You're positive. He's not. What do you think, Mr. Ogindo?
And I think Kenya is the best place to get themselves. And our destiny is in our hands. And it is imperative that we display national patriotism by addressing our problems ourselves, giving them solutions that are homegrown, because that way we're going to give them sustainable solutions. It is good to borrow a leaf here and there, but we are unique in our own way.
All right, let's talk about solutions then. Draft constitutions come back from committee of experts. Tweaks fiddled with it a bit. Two issues they said they changed. The Senate has been given teeth, number one. Devolution as well, that's been touched quite a bit. There are a few other issues, of course, on bordering on morality, but because of time, let's concentrate on those two. Devolution. Your thoughts on that, Honorable Imani?
Yes, first of all, I think we need to start from the beginning that we have chosen, and I think Kenyan people are happy that we have made a clean break with this hybrid model where we combine one system of government with another. In a presidential system, the most important thing is the checks on the exercise of the executive authority, because that is what has been our undoing. Kenya has had a presidential system that over the years has lost all restraints on the presidency. We started calling it the imperial presidency. So in terms of the new constitution, the proposed new constitution, having a Senate with teeth is critical in order to provide a check on the president.